first thing I can talk about is this, put a viscous coupling fan on there. We pulled the original BM one off, and I've got one off a Falcon here. Blows more air, and the electric fan in the front failed, so I've gone this idea, so I can't follow.
What was that fan?
This fan's off a Toyota, just an aircon fan. It only comes on with the aircon, so we don't have to worry about any electrical issues in the future because it's all mechanical now.
And the last of the aircon pipe's just got to get...
Yeah, I'm just waiting on a fitting to come in that'll fit that hose. And we've just got to crimp that and get the aircon back up and working. We've had it working, but the hose was in the way of the washer bottle.
That's why the washer bottle's obviously not there.
I've got to replace the washer bottle. It's just got old and the plastic's gone crumbly. I don't know if you can see all the bad parts of the radiator, but that's a 5-core that's in it. I haven't replaced it yet because I wanted to test it in summer and see how well it cools with this engine. And we've lost quite a few tubes out the back of that radiator, but it's cooling fine, no problem at all. So I might just go with a standard aluminium radiator. I think it's going to work quite alright. So, and I wanted to make sure that the fan wasn't going to hit it. I didn't want to destroy a new radiator. It seems to be all fine. So,
and what about this part?
Well, when I get the radiator, we'll rework that so it looks nicer. Probably have just a straight right angle and connect into this one then. That's about the latest for updates under the bonnet. We'll go around to the front tail shaft. There's been a few trial and error things happening there. Do you want to show them the other tail shaft first, or?
Yeah, if you got it.
We're running constant four-wheel drive. So the first tail shaft just had a single uni on the front, and we're getting low speed vibration. So I've got this double cardan uni off a Land Rover to try and deal with the vibration problems, but it still wasn't working. So we've had to ditch the uni idea altogether. I wanted to keep it constant four-wheel drive because it handles so much better with the front wheels driving. So I've kept the original uni joint on the front there, but I've gone to a CV joint at the back. I've chosen one off a Golf because it uses a tubular shaft rather than a solid one. And I've made a new flange and welded that to the CV joint without affecting the hardened steel areas, and that's fixed the problem. It drives really smooth now, low speed, high speed. It's better than the original. It's because of the angle this is running. They have low speed vibrations. The unis just can't absorb the vibration. It's covered in a bit of grease from the CV joint, but I've actually got an air actuator up in there. It's probably hard to see. That operates the diff lock. So I've just got a switch in on the dash rather than having levers and stuff in there. I'll show you the switch inside. So I just have a switch on the dash there to engage the diff lock. I have a key. So if I push diff lock, I've connected it up so the light comes on. Four-wheel drive just indicates a diff lock. what that switch does is, I might turn it off. Activates the solenoids. One's for engage and one's for disengage of that actuator down the bottom. Vacuum's just picked up off the back of the booster. And the front hubs, we don't want them to be engaged and disengaged, so they're completely locked now. When you undo the bolts, I can spin that a bit so that it won't disengage. No one can disengage that, it's locked in the lock. So it's permanent four-wheel drive.
And the bearings?
Yeah, chasing the problem with that low speed vibration, I removed the bronze bushes that hold or that locate the CV joint in there behind the hub, and I've put the later model needle bearings in there, so it can handle constant four-wheel drive all the time. There's no bushes to wear out. I've picked up the Land Rover cable operated lever, and I've just cut and welded the Landcruiser lever on top of it. It's a bit of mucking around to make it fit, but now this just operates high and low range. That's low range, and that's high range.
And low range is low.
Low range is low. Just jump in with it. I normally go high, low range while the car's just rolling a touch. There it goes. Well, having the Land Rover transfer case gives me 3.22 to 1 in low range for factory. So there's no need to buy any rock crawling gears. They do get sticky when people don't use them. We're still deciding what we're going to do with this boot, whether we make some sort of console and put two boots in it, or just run the boots to the floor. We're still deciding on that, so we'll have to do an update on that when we've decided what we're doing. Most of it's done now, it's almost complete. We'll work on that console and see what we come up with. I'm going to get the aircon regassed Monday or Tuesday. Probably like to quieten it down a little bit more. Driving normally it's fine, but under power it's quite noisy. And I will put a new radiator in it, but that radiator works fine. Just neaten up the pipes here and make that look nicer.
And then you can just put that cowling back on and it'll look good.
I'll do that when the aircon's regassed.
Yeah.
And then the grill will go back in. So that's my update for the minute.
We're going to take you for a cruise around the block. It's still weird driving this without the big gear stick here.
Oh, I'm used to it now.
Oh, I'm not. I'll start it. For those that aren't familiar with cruisers though, you have a big gear stick that comes up here. So for the gear stick to be back here, it's very strange. it's the Camry.
Yeah, so it shifts through the gears quite nice.
It's still crazy how fast it goes. If that was the 2H, it'd still be back at the lights. It's even not that noisy. Maybe it's noisy outside the car when you're
It'll be noisy in here because it's a big empty cabin. But Brendan can hear me pulling up even when I'm not.
okay.
He turn in the street even when I'm cruising. So I don't know if it's just because it's quiet or in his street or this is actually noisy.
Because it's quite nice when you're cruising like this, you can barely hear it.
You lock your door, mate?
No, I'll do it in a minute.
We might look at doing a brake upgrade, although probably not necessary because this is the later one with the better brakes in it. And we're not going to run 35s on it. And we don't have a lot of weight in it. So it stops quite well as it is, but I might look at 80 series brakes and see if I can make them fit in there. But, that's the next project.